There's a story about Jimmy Carter, who was not the best president, obviously, but he was being interviewed by Admiral Rickover, who was the head of America's nuclear navy. And Jimmy Carter, like, people don't see him this way because maybe we think about him as this old man, but he was like, he went to the Naval Academy, he was ambitious, successful, like he was driven to be like great from a very early age. And so he's being interviewed. He just graduated from the Naval Academy. It's like 48, 49. And he wants to get on a nuclear sub. But the way to do it is this guy, Admiral Rickover, decides, who's one of the unsung heroes of American history that very few people know about. Immigrant, went through Ellis Island, a Jewish guy whose family flees persecution, helps us win the Second World War and then the Cold War. But anyways, he's interviewing Jimmy Carter. It's like a 3-hour interview like this. They were kind of these like big, long discussions. And, Jimmy Carter's like going on and on about all his accomplishments, like, here's what I did. I got this grade. And then Rickover goes like, how'd you finish in your class at the Naval Academy? And he was like, I was 56 out of 800. And Carter thought he'd be like, oh, wow, that's great. Like, he was beaming with pride about it. And Rickover just looks at him and goes, did you always do your best? And then Jimmy Carter was going to be like, of course, that's what you say. And then he thought about it. He's like, I kind of coasted through this class. Like, I didn't always study this. Like, and he was like, I'm going to be honest. He's like, no, I didn't always do my best. And then Rickover looked at him and he said, why not? And then he got up and left the room. Oof. And what you control is whether you did your best. You don't control how you rank in the class. You don't control whether you won this award or this scholarship or bestsellers. You don't control any of that. You don't even really control if people like what you do.
Right.
You only control if you did your best and if you were proud of it.